All right. God. God damn it. Fuck. God damn it. I'm gonna change that tradition. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with that one. All right. I'm just digesting what I'm looking at here. Let me tell you something. This blonde little girl took a liking to killing because she's just sitting back and watching the chaos like she's popping popcorn. So she's liking this way too fucking much. Girl got sick, brother. So, let me tell you guys a little story. When I was but a wee little bastard, you know, just a tiny little monster, I came across a show called Friday the 13th, a series. You know, before there was ever even before the S.C.P. Foundation was ever being conceived as a property, I, as a little kid, was already dreaming about capturing, collecting, and containing all sorts of fucking haunted objects. Haunted dolls, cursed objects, the kind of shit that just shouldn't be in anybody's hands. From long ago, that's when I heard the voice in my head. Prepare. It is the inspiration to collect all of these wondrous things. And since then I was growing up and all of that, I was hooked. This show is so fucking old that it's available on no streaming services. We're lucky to have it on YouTube. I'm just saying. Like, I'm showing my age right now, so that's how you know I'm serious. And look at me. I'm the homeless guy with a home. You know, I'm getting to the point where I can fulfill some of those dreams. And one of them was filling this entire house with haunted and cursed objects. Kept behind containment and bulletproof glass and so on. Just, Warren style. The Warrens. Except I'm not going to have people come by and gawk at them, nor will I have them being kept as just mere prisoners. In fact, that's what I'm going to tell the Warrens when I one day raid their house and snatch that doll and set it free from its imprisonment. I'll tell them just that. Who are you to keep her in prison here? People that come day after day, gawk at her, stare at her, when she could do nothing. Her freedom is coming. And I think I have an idea as to why they changed the doll in the movie at first. Not like, what it become, but what at first the idea was. And it was this. For people like me, like before they were informed more about what the doll actually looked like, it was a way to deter people from knowing what to actually look for. So, we're not looking for that funny looking, disgusting amalgamation of whatever the hell they made in whatever studio. We're looking for something that looks like a Raggedy Ann. And there you would have had more chance of being able to find the real thing. But if you're looking for that thing in the movie, you're never going to find her.
Hey, darling, you don't understand. I have no choice.
Oh yeah, there's impossible things that you wouldn't believe what it would have to take to track it down, like Little Bastard. Haha, unlike in Supernatural, there was a problem with that. You see, I don't know where to begin. Well, you see, Little Bastard isn't in one piece, he's in pieces. When it was scrapped for parts, all of those parts were either scrapped for good or refurbished into other vehicles. So basically, you'd be on the hunt for parts from different scrap yards, different vehicles that might have inherited its parts. You'd have to go a long way, practically all across the earth, just to find all of the pieces, if you can find all of the parts. But you see what I mean? Little Bastard is in pieces. You're going to have a hell of a time. I'm going to have a hell of a time collecting all of it. Jeez. That is a task. But imagine that, actually. Actually reobtaining Little Bastard. Being able to put him back together again. All sorts of things. Haunted books or cursed books. Like, remember that one? Of course I would forget what it's called, but honestly it just translates to giant book. And it is giant. It's heavy. And in the middle of all of its pages is an exquisite and yet haunting mural painting of the devil. Some say it was made on a curse. To try to save his life, he said that he could write such an amazing book within, 24 hours? Or something like that. He couldn't do it, so it was a monk, he called upon he called upon the devil to help him write it in one day. I have to look back on this, but the book is what's important.
We would pose the question to our beloved founder. The answer would be simple. We can do a lot of good with the money we make in these full responsibilities. However,
Oh, and speaking of showing my age, here's another one for y'all. Long ago, I was also addicted to a show called Monsters. No, not the Munsters. Monsters. Like real monsters. And half the time it was silly as fuck, but, you know, I loved it. It was like, basically, it's same as You Know Who. And, you know, half the time it's silly. Part of the time it's a meme, and part of the time it honestly seems like it could very well damn well be plausible. Like well, they call it when day breaks. I just like to call it the red sun scenario, because it would actually be much larger and it would be red. Sort of reminds me of the prophecy of the sun shall become yeah, never mind, because it would have to be switched around to the moon. Forget it. Actually, but you know, imagine that though. Like, you know, just all sorts of things like. And it too reminded me of monsters, like all these different types of species, creatures, anomalies, spirits, demons, angels, Jesus, you know. And, you know, as I grew up, you know, from this era right here, I started going into anime and stuff, or like seeing stuff like Paranoia Agent and all that. Like, yeah, shit that was right up my alley. The kind of things that would be something that you would think would be in dire need of special containment procedure, wouldn't you? Other things, Stephen King's The Mist. Oh man, Stephen King has a lot of things that are great for theory fodder. Yeah. Oh, put one smoker in. There we go. And then we get up to things like Dead by Daylight. Look at the lovely creatures in here. Like, what the actual fuck is this thing here? I keep thinking like something out of H.P. Lovecraft, or you know how the Leviathan operated in Supernatural, you know, something like that.
Now here we are.
For many other things, I've come up with my own canons and explanations, like the Ruin from Alice Madness Returns. Or picture it like this. It's like the Ruin in Alice Little's mind, but made manifest in the world of the real. Woo-ha-ha, right? Nice. That was my explanation for it. What do you think? Not bad? Now, how you would take something like that out of the girl's nightmares from her mind, and manifest it in the world of the physical is another story.
Someday, Brian. I don't know when. I don't know how. Someday.
Although, what do you think, actually? Now that I think about it, using Freddy's powers, I mean, if you had something like Freddy under your either voluntary or involuntary employ, you would be able to use his dream demon powers to be able to pull things in and out of people's dreams. And that would include Alice Little. Go into her mind, pull out her nightmares, and manifest them in the world of the real. Then stick them in containment. Probably most likely something that I would do, honestly. Like, I would tell her, all right, I was so enamored, so fascinated with the demons in your dreams that I had to put them in containment for myself. I hope you don't mind. I'm something of a collector. Oh, and I totally forgot about their, what was it, Grandpa 2 in the Friday the 13th series. Check it out. He had a partner long ago when he was running the joint, okay? And he was so afraid of death. He was so enamored with, like, the anomalous. Sound familiar? With the anomalous and with the cheating of death, that he even started going into devil worship, they called it, all that too, in order to help him cheat the odds. Obviously, it didn't work, did it? But wow, come to think. But he wasn't the good. He was saying that his partner, that is, was saying before he died, when he started going down these dark paths, secret paths that I couldn't follow with him. That's where they broke up their partnership. Is when things started getting a little too dark. But nonetheless, what to say is he wasn't the good guy. In other words, unlike an S.C.P. Foundation, where it was protecting humanity from the anomalous and protecting the anomalous from humanity, he was doing it out of greed, out of hubris. He just wanted to obtain more power. Well, I, on the other hand, even back then, hell is this guy's problem? He could have been using all of that knowledge and all of that space to contain the haunted and the curse to protect humanity from their effects, like what their what was it, granddaughter, grandson, or niece and nephew, or whatever they were, ended up doing for him. Out of what the thing he was doing out of greed, they were doing to protect everyone else. That's what it started. It's like, right? The differences. But the fact is, like, isn't it funny though? They didn't know, so they just start selling and pawning off everything in there when they realize that they need to get that shit back because they done goofed. So it made me think, okay, say I collect so much and something happens to me, hell am I going to do about that one to keep everything from being re-released? Leave a set of instructions, choose the right air, both. Yeah. to prepare for everything.
That's poison.
You leave nothing to chance. I once started having this hypothesis that the reason, the part where where that comes, where we start to face death, is when we start to prepare for it. It's like we start, writing, buying a plot, getting a life insurance policy, and all that, and all of a sudden we find ourselves facing death, almost as if it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I would say that if it wasn't for those who never prepared for it at all and just get screwed over in the end and leaving their family with a bill instead of a will. So no, that ain't it. But it was a theory. A death theory. Well, that's what I'm here for. Figure it out. Life is a puzzle, so you just gotta solve it. Whack. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's that exit. And here, actually, when you really think about it, okay, you're placed in this arena-like area with the entity at hand, and your job is to escape, right? Well, when you escape, you notice that, of course, the killer can't. It's almost as if you were placed in its containment area to see if you can survive it. And when you escape it, you can escape, but it must remain in containment. Weird, isn't it? Didn't quite think about it like that before, have you? But that being said, so far, do you like my headcanon? I have taken the liberty of replacing their canon with my own, including to, but not limited to, dicing and icing the entity, where the entity is no longer a concern. In my headcanon, the entity has no power here. But the Blight sure does. The Blight would have made a great research tool. Although the problem is, take a look at how it operates. You notice? And take a look at all the subject as well, and take a look at all the descriptions of all the subjects under the influence of Blight. You know what it all keeps boiling back down to? That this shit is like the G virus. It grows out of control like a kind of cancer. Hey, zip it! Unmitigated, God, what the fuck? What? Give me a minute. I need to. See, I know that word. I swear to God, I do. Unmitigated, an unchecked cellular growth pattern. That's how cancer operates. It starts and is a cellular growth that is just gone out of control, and then it gets to the point where it starts mutating its own replication, causing things like say, matter that shouldn't be there, like say a tooth or some hair. Weird shit growing with it. That's the mutation of when out of control replication, it stops remembering what it's supposed to replicate. Just starts going literally out of control. And then just its growth itself, you know, growing out of control is what causes death to the subject. Like, you know, like a brain tumor getting bigger and bigger until the brain that it's pressing against can no longer handle the pressure. Yeah. So that's basically what it all is. Cancer, G virus, and blight, or an unmitigated cellular growth. Ha! Yeah. You know the cool thing about what they're doing in law nowadays, you know, like being a lawyer and shit, all that Latin and pig Latin shit is just, it's no longer used. They had started to figure that, you know, the whole court, including the jury, need to understand what's going on. And if you're sitting there speaking Latin to them, they have no fucking idea what you're saying. Could you speak English? So, yeah, they started, you know, relying more heavily on that. So habeas corpus and fucking mens rea and all this other shit is what you're going to hear a lot less of now. Because to at least half of jury audiences, it's gibberish. It's just gibberish. Speak English. You know, what is going on before the jury in this court? You gotta just lay it down straight. And yeah, speaking Latin isn't gonna do it. I just like that they finally changed that shit because it was kind of really, I don't know. I don't have a word for that. It's just, it's like, I don't know, unnecessarily complicated, like legal counsel trying to make themselves look smarter than they needed to. When you're already smart, you are legal counsel, you're here, you don't need to show off. Come on.
You will keep your mind under the motion. The world can I get myself in this mess? All I want is to get married and settle down. I didn't want those antiques. I didn't want any of this. Nick, come on. Look at this whole thing hasn't been a plan.
Where to start? Let me see something.
Okay, you want to go back to Leonard? Be my guest. Boy, just remember, we don't accept those ends. Nobody else is going to do it. It's up to us because nobody else is going to do it. It's not like you can go to the conversation. Excuse me, officer, we got these antiques out here. We got to get back to the church. Officer, the money from the
Well, I'm sorry, but sometimes I find myself locked in a cell, in a monastery, pretending to be a boy, tracking down a cursed little pet.
Oh yes, let the whole courtyard hear you. Yeah. Oh yeah, like the dude's on the ladder there, like la 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 la. Yeah, that's right. You heard nothing. Okay. Jesus Christ, stealthy you or not, they would never make it in an undercover mission. They're fucked. Like, dude, don't break character. Jesus, you're gonna blow our cover. Yikes.
I think that's a fine looking crop of burgundy grapes you got there. I predict you're going to have a vintage year. Look at me going off about the nose where I come from, I was the bird. Look at the two with no hair on your chest and things that light it out of your throat. Thank you, bless you, brother. You're darling, man. You're darling. Right. I don't know this, but the pen. The collector I know Look. Right up another episode. No. Stop. So many years of people died already. I wouldn't call splitting $500 million advance of the Oracle slide story. I don't care about the money anymore. I care about the money. I need to take credit for what I write. I can't afford to be seen. Now that I'm at it, I can
Oh, yeah.
pocket 10.
And remember the S.C.P's Lovecraftian locket? Friday the 13th, the series had something even more twisted, fucked up, and unbelievable. And something I had, if I'm remembering this right, I can only refer to as the suicide locket. All those that bore it were always destined to die. Most of the time by ganking their own self. This locket of death, wherever it went, bodies would drop. The poison pen. All right. Yeah. Back to my roots.
I will. The Oracle of Death.
That's what I loved about this series, is that it could be something so asinine, so mundane, so unassuming, until its anomalous properties show up and like, holy fuck, what happened? That's what caused this? That is what caused this? You'd be surprised. So sometimes it just really does start with something so very small. Oh no, wait, or I think I might be remembering wrong, but this locket was seriously fucked up. Okay, it was either, it was something that always drove you to your death, or the opposite. It gave you the irresistible urge to kill. I think it might have been the latter. There's only one way to find out. I'm going back to my roots. I'm going through as many as I can to try to remember where I came here, what brought me here in the first place. So, yeah. Go to my roots. There we go. 05 Council, not good enough. Helms 08. Looking for Helms 08. Or Helms 008. Still a work in progress.
That's one prediction already didn't make.
The Council of Eight.
As soon as I found this, but
Naturally, and I am 01.
Desperation. Couldn't stand it anymore. Evidently, his gift was thinking the length of death would cause despair. Or his goal was no more.
Honestly, should just be kept down to 4. The Council of 4. There we go. Normally a Council of 4, but there shall be a number 5 as a tiebreaker. Because what if the council cannot come to decision? It's all based on a number 5 to break a stalemate. Sort of like a pentagram, as opposed to the 4 corners. Starts at the 4 corners, but in the event of a tie, there shall be a pentagram. Yeah. They keep breaking character. Fucking, how many times should they have blown their cover? Jesus, they're terrible at this. Killing me here. I see a pattern of when I was a kid, thinking of ways I could so do that better. Because operatives, these guys seriously are not. They are not operative material, by a long shot. Damn, just damn, dude. Probably what I was thinking back then too. What they need is operatives on this. What do they have? Why do they have 2 Mongols on this shit for? What the hell? Or, if anything, start training themselves for this shit. Give themselves special training and procedure.
Good morning, brother.
None of that.
I hope Brother Curry's death did not rob you of good. Fortunately not. Were there any other interruptions? Some of the other monks have been complaining of pests, rodents, and the like. Not on the lack of rodents. I'm relieved to hear.
Well, no. By pests, they mean you guys. They want you guys to go away.
Brother Lacroix is on a fishing expedition.
You're rocking the monastery.
And she was supposed to die.
Well, it's not that I was playing. How come we didn't?
Because you're not who you are.
Go recontain the object and beat it.
So when Curry's death was put on, you wasn't really good. What? A statement about Brother Curry's death. Why don't you meet with them? Gee, but you're the new advocate. You knew him best. You speak on his behalf. And while you're about it, send a telegram to the Home Office in Yorkshire. What's that?
Well,
Find out if they did indeed send 2 representatives to visit us. And wait for the reply. I have reason to believe that brothers Matthew and Simon are not who they claim to be. We're barking at the wrong brother here, fixing the wrong room.
And I love in a lot of stories, 9 times out of 10, when like a convent or a monastery or like a church runs across an anomalous object, it ends up showing you who it's really run by. Crooked bastards.
There's foul play suspected in the death of the order. We have a prepared statement. Brother Curry was a man loved by all here at the Brotherhood. His gift of predicting the future, did he predict his own death? This gift became his portion. And through our everlasting sorrow, he chose to take his own life.
Isn't suicide considered a moral sin?
He chose to take his own life rather than suffer any longer. And our prayers for wisdom. All our prayers.
That's it. That's all. That's all you're going to tell us. Come on.
I'm not authorized to be anything but this prepared statement. I'm sorry, I can't. Can't something to hide you two below profile.
Rubberneckers. I don't like those rubberneckers either. They ask way too many questions. You know? I wish they would have finished the series. I had theories about this one too. Like, I even had a theory that the old man that they were working for never stopped working for their father when he went Satanist and shit. That he was luring these two into a trap. You regather all the objects, and now that he has all the power in the anomalous fucking world, he no longer needs these two. Ha! Even the theory that the other old man never really was dead. He's just gonna straight pop up right there at the end. Like, nice work, all that, you two. But, well, since you know too much, your adventure ends here. Oh, shit. But you see, it was canceled before it could be finished, so fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I'll find out. I don't think it was ever really concluded. I hate shit like that. It's enough to drive anyone crazy.
I would appreciate if you would stop meditating without me. That way. Brother?
Yes. Yeah. I like the fire rate of that one. It's not Tag.
I'd be willing to reduce my commitment to 10%. Let's not play games. I want 15.2 million cash.
15.2 million cash from someone who runs a monastery. That's so cute. Oh, this dude. Never mind. But I think it was like.
I must say, you have a hard bargain. That was the fun. Nice drink. No, I have some other serious I'm not far.
Okay. Now, I have a feeling that it was never made official, the connection between Jason Voorhees' storyline in Friday the 13th and the series' story, but we could possibly make one. For example, like it has to do with cursed objects, haunted objects, and so on, right? What if something that Jason had a hold of, or even better, Jason Voorhees' mother's head is what keeps Jason around. Not anything to do with the lake, the haunted object is her head. And everywhere that head goes, Jason was involved. Although, which would make it hard to explain in certain movies, like Jason Takes Manhattan, only he went somewhere. The head, I don't think ever did it? Which would debunk that, would be one of the things that debunked that whole thing. If that's not the case, then, well, yeah. Wherever her head goes, he must follow. If he were to actually literally and permanently destroy the mother's head, I think that would be another way of getting rid of him. Because you've destroyed the object he's connected to, or is anchored to. He can no longer have... by destroying the thing that he's connected to, you'll destroy his anchor here. The thing that keeps him anchored to the world of the living. Because back then I was trying to theorize, how are these two storylines connected?
Gotta go up to be quiet. Don't be panic.
Oh, Jack, thank God it's you. Fine, I found the pen. Then I figured
Or
Jack,
it could be connected, of course, all along to the object that not even their grandfather could get a hold of, the Necronomicon. Is the thing that brought him back. Mama dabbled in the occult.
it was in a quiet room, just as you thought. I saw it from the day.
Baby, oh baby! Can't wait to get out of here.
I wouldn't make travel plans just yet. Switch.
Or a combination of both.
Sister Simon. Or should I say, Mickey? Hand it over. I would have preserved your epitaphs in a more dignified way, but someone rudely stole my diary. Ah. This will do nicely. The imposters came to the monastery posing as monks to meet certain death. I will be happy to change this to include you as well, Brother Frank. You're gonna burn in hell, you traitor! Put that down!
Aha, so it acts as a reverse death note. You exclaim how the subjects have died in written form, and it shall be so. Ah. So, well, shit, I wouldn't be calling it the poison pen. I'd be calling it actually, if they did the death note, or the death note pen, but of course, if they did that, there would be no death note. Legal issues. Or maybe not. This Friday the 13th, the series has been dead for so long that I think
tragedy will strike.
the copyright would no longer be an issue.
Accomplished. Now, all I have to do is fill in your names.
Yep, death note. Fucking death. It's a fucking death note. Yeah. There was a death note before there was ever a death note. Ha.
Your name on the original invoice, remember?
Alright, guys. Hi, Ninja. Hi. So.
Now, where were we? It seems this pen isn't so foolproof after all. You really expect me to fall for an old trick like this?
Yeah, sure. The trick was the treat, stupid. They can't even conceive it the way they're describing it and all that. It's literally a it's literally just a death note. It's crazy. Before they ever had a concept of what a death note was, especially in the West. Ha. Oh, they could have been a real dick about it. All those people that they owed money to put in their death notes. Oh, look at that. You know, they owe nobody nothing. You know, weird. You know, I wonder how that could have happened. Even the look-sees give me a look-see. Hey, look at me like that in that tone. Well, and some of the objects in like the opening too. I think one of them was that old music box, which I do believe possibly was featured in its actual episodes. Yeah. Or maybe this was a kind of a hint that Jason Voorhees was brought back via anomalous means. A very subtle hint. So, Cupid statue.
Hey, fella, you just don't know how to take no for an answer.
No, leave him alone.
She turned around.
I left him.
Haha. And I can already tell you before this episode even goes any further, starts as infatuation, maybe even love, turns to obsession, turns to fear, turns to danger. Love gone twisted and wrong. But you got what you wished for. Yeah, I'm sorry. That old trope, you know, right? Mm-hmm. I learned a lot from the shit I used to watch as a kid. Yeah. You learn the funniest lessons from the strangest places, huh? Poor fool.
Just getting out of bed. Right.
Huh.
You picked up my leg.
Yeah.
So we found benches on all those who did not get love.
So he pretty much pulled a Dr. Wondertainment and made himself an anomalous object like a real asshole.
Some man that listens for crew, honeymoon slaves, you know. Said he had to kill for Cupid's sake. You don't think there's any...
That's what it is. There needs to be a manifesto of all of the all of the necessarily categorizable objects that are in containment, all in a list, along with vital intel on them. A manifest of objects, if you will. That was one of the things I was missing.
Themselves as lover boys or something, though. Why do you say that? Because they all have a symbol on the front of their t-shirts, a heart,
there, son? Just shooting pictures of birds, huh?
From my natural studies class.
Well, I did like natural studies myself.
I really want to get a Did you get my messages? I thought we could go out again.
Wait, we were there on the first class.
Did you? You didn't remember?
It wasn't big. I have to go to home, that was all.
I see. You think you did good for me, huh?
No, let's go in now.
Remember one of the guys on the